Hey, what's good, agents? Today we're going to be doing a deck profile for the red BT23 Future Gohan and Future Trunks deck, also known as SS3 Gohanks because of the Z leader. This is a deck that I have been contemplating rebuilding for a while now. For those of you guys who've been in the streams this past couple weeks, this has been like the main deck that we've been testing out. Just been updating it with all the new red stuff. I absolutely love this deck still. I honest to God think I like it personally more than Red Vegeta. Would I say it's better? I don't know. For me, I just really like this deck. It's more consistent for my needs, and I like the ability to neg out unisons, which is great. And I feel like the negging in this deck is actually more consistent than it is with Vegeta. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Of course, we're going to start with the leader. We'll do the front side first, of course. So you got Gohan and Trunks. When you swing with this guy, you look at the top 5, you get to grab up to 1 red Saiyan, and there's no level requirement or energy cost requirement, so you can take whatever you want. So this is cool because you can grab your SCR, grab those super combos, basically anything in the deck you can grab. So that is dope. And then or you can grab an Earthling too, so literally anything in the deck is actually pullable, because I think every card but one in this deck falls into either of those categories. Your awakening condition, super simple. You gotta have 4 or less life, or you gotta have the 2 energy and the Destroyed West City Z extra card out on the board. You get to draw 1, switch up an energy, and take your life down to 6. Super standard awakening stuff. Okay, so on this side, you have your Super Saiyan, Future Gohan, and then your Trunks. So you got 2 different effects. So you got activate main/battle, lets you basically make the cost for one of your activate mains on your Trunkses, or your Future Gohans free, or cost 1 less. Explaining this always feels so convoluted, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to grab 1 Z energy, you get to place it in the drop, and then for each card you place in the drop, you're going to reduce the cost of your activate main skills on your Future Gohans or your Future Trunkses. We'll kind of show exactly what that means. I don't know why the camera is doing this. We'll talk about exactly what that means in a bit, once we actually look at the cards that it's relevant for. So essentially it's a way to pop off various effects for free. You're paying Z energy instead of your actual energy, which is really impactful for this deck. Your activate main, this is at your draw engine on this side. You're going to place 1 red Saiyan card from your hand under your Destroyed West City to draw 2. This can get a little awkward if you don't have the Saiyans that you want to put under the city, which are basically Trunkses. Like, you don't necessarily want to put any other Saiyans under Destroyed West City. If you have to, it's fine. Just it can get a little clunky if you're not seeing the Trunkses that you need. All right, let's get into the actual battle cards in the deck. First, we're actually running 3 of the SS Vegeta Tough Battle. He draws 1. When you use him in a combo, if your leader is a Red Saiyan, you can grab 1 of your cards from underneath the Destroyed West City, put it in the drop, and draw a card. So this is actually a nice way if you had to put something out of the city you really didn't want to, and you'd rather have it in your drop for whatever reason. He will let you just grab that card, put it in the drop, and then you get to draw 1. So he can replace himself, which is really cool. And he doesn't have to be comboed from he does have to be comboed in your hand in order to draw 1. So you can't pay 1, play him, swing, combo, drop something, and draw again. So he won't ever plus you. Just keep that in mind. He just replaces himself. Next, we're running 3 of the Goku Tough Battle. His auto of comboing from the hand does the exact same thing as Vegeta. When you play him out, though, you search top 5, you grab a 4-cost Saiyan or Earthling from the deck. Next, we're going to get into the Trunkses. So these guys are pretty dope. This is Trunks' Frustration. When he's used in a combo for one of your Future Gohans or Future Trunkses, you can choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unisons and negative 5k. So that's pretty dope. It has to be, though, from your under the Destroyed West City. So you actually have to pull it from Destroyed West City in order to get that 5k neg. Just keep that in mind. It's like the only one of these Trunkses that actually requires it to specifically come out of the city in order for you to take advantage of that skill. I'm like, as I say this, I'm like double reading it to make sure that is the case. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if it's your Gohan or Trunks Futures that are in a battle and you combo with this guy from under the city, you can neg 5k. All right. Next, we're getting into the barrier or the Trunks battle preparations. So this guy's pretty dope. The first skill that he's got, of course, if your future Trunks or your future Gohan is in a battle and this guy's in under the destroyed West City, you can grab and combo with it. When you combo with it, you can either pay one, like one energy, and you can give one of your future Trunkses or future Gohan's barrier until the end of your opponent's turn, which can be super relevant if you're trying to have things stick around. This is a limit 1 skill, keep that in mind. And this is one of those skills that relates to your leader's activate battle / main. So what you could do here when you're in the battle step and you're comboing with this guy, you can be like, cool, I'm gonna activate battle here. I'm gonna drop this dude from my Z energy so that I can activate this guy's skill for free. Your leader skill is not once per turn, so you can do that as long as you got Z energy, you can do that. So that's how that works. And yeah, you can give one of your, it's got to be specifically red Son Gohan or Trunks Future's barrier to the end of your opponent's turn. And you have to have 3 or more energy in order to pop that skill. Next up, we're running 3 of the Trunks Unfulfilled Ambition. So, just like the other Trunkses, he can combo out from under your destroyed West City. He is going to give you crit for this during your battle step as well when he's used in a combo. Keep in mind too, with these guys in particular, you could combo it from your hand, from your drop, however you want to, and still use the activate battle, unlike Trunks' Frustration, which has to be from the city. That is just differentiate something to keep in mind when you're playing this deck. So when you use this guy in a combo, you can pay 1 or drop 1 Z energy by using your leader's skill, and you can give yourself crit for the battle, which comes up all the time. It is a phenomenal way to force your opponent to combo out if they don't want to be critted. Next, you're playing one of the Trunks' powerful sentiments, since he was unfortunately, I don't know why my camera keeps doing this. He was unfortunately limited to 1. He gives double strike. So he comes from the city as well. You can combo out with this guy from your hand. However you want to combo with him. You can drop the Z energy and you can give one of your guys double strike. The really cool thing with this deck is you can use these effects in combination with one another. So you could do, here we go, we are now double crit. Yes, you have to either pay 2 or drop your Z energy, however you want to do it, but you could suddenly give yourself double crit, which is why this guy was restricted to 1, so you can't sit there and try and double crit somebody every turn, which was really cool when you could do it. It being restricted to 1 though isn't nearly as like impactful as I would have thought it would have been. The more I play the deck, it kind of doesn't matter. Next, we're playing 2 Bulma Future Support. You could ramp this up if you wanted. She is a 1 cost. You play her out to draw a card, but you'll probably never ever do this effect. With her, what you're going to want to do is you're going to discard her, search top 5. You can grab any Saiyan or Earthling with an energy cost of 4 or less to your hand, so she's another searcher. And then if you wanted to, you could take one of your Trunkses and put them under the destroyed West City. That's a skill you'll probably never use because you want to actually draw off of putting the Trunkses under, generally speaking, so you'll probably never do that. But she is a great way to just search out some stuff and get some additional cards in your hand if you're looking for your Trunkses and your Gohans. Okay, next we're playing 3 of the Son Gohan self-taught truth or self-taught combo attack. So he's going to cost you 1 to play if your leader is who it is, and you have to have 2 or more energy. So you play this guy out. He's just a 15k body, but his activate main, you can pay 1 to draw 1 card, switch him to active mode. So he's like a fake dual attack. The nice thing about him is being able to draw 1, honestly, off that skill. And of course, with your leader, you can activate main. You can drop a Z energy so that you can activate his skill for free to draw 1 and restand. Honestly, you don't have to run this dude. I like him as just an option to be able to dual attack and draw 1 if I need to during certain situations, to be able to swing into unisons, to apply pressure with like crits and or that 1 double strike. Again, you don't need to run him, but I like to because he's in archetype, and I don't think he's a bad card either. Now this guy, I would argue, is one of the stars of the deck. This is some Gohan resisting evil. So, play same play condition as the previous Gohan. You pay 1 energy when you got 2 or more. This guy hits the board. He's a 15k body. What makes him really fucking good is that his activate main, you draw 1, and then you can neg 20k off a battle card or a unison. So this guy is so good at just getting rid of annoying unisons and taking out their markers. So you can always play this dude, swing at the unison, then activate main, drop your Z, draw a card, neg 20, and hopefully kill the unison or just make it so that it's not as beefy. I absolutely love this dude. And the fact that it negs 20 and not 15 means most of your opponent's battle cards you can get rid of as well. SCRs are easier to get rid of because usually they're 40k, so you can bring it down to 20. And usually once the SCR is brought down to 20, you have other ways you can neg it out or just straight up get rid of it. I love this dude, so I run him at 4. Next, another star of the deck that you could maybe bump to 4 if you wanted. This is Self-Taught Truth Gohan. So he can be played at 2 or more energy as well, so long as you have a Z extra card in your battle area, which you always will in this deck. This deck is always live in terms of Z extra requirements or your explosive dances. This deck feels like it was basically built for explosive dance, or explosive dance was built for it, which makes sense. It came out the same set. So yeah, you pay 1, you play this dude out. So his activate main skill, which is really good as well, if you have 3 or more energy, you can switch this guy to active mode, you give him double strike, and then you can neg a battle card or a unison 20k for the turn. So ideally what you want to do is you'll play this dude out, you'll go ahead, get your first, when you have 3 energy, of course, you'll get your first swing off, assuming he doesn't die. In that first swing, if you want to give him barrier, you could, just in case you're concerned about what your opponent's got going on. I know I do that all the time. Then you'll go ahead and do your leader skill, restand him, draw a card, neg something 20k. You can go ahead and swing 20 double. Then you'll grab that crit body and give him crit, so you can swing 20 double crit. Yeah, he's super good in this deck in particular for that reason, because he just fits so well. I also think he's part of the reason why this Trunks got limited down to 1. I'm trying to find my double striker Trunks. But why the double striker got limited to 1, because there was a world where you could be like, cool, he's gonna swing, I'm gonna give him double strike on his first swing with this guy, and then his second swing, he already has double strike. I'm gonna give him crit on that second swing, so now he's hitting you for 4 damage, half of which was crit. He's really good, and this guy in tandem with this guy will help you get rid of SCRs, which is part of why I really love having these two together, because they're just a good way to get rid of just things that are annoying. Next up is the boss monster of the deck. We're playing 3 of the Super Saiyan Trunkses. So this guy's got a shit ton of effects. So first and foremost, he has dual attack. When he attacks, you can add up to 1 card from your life, and then you can combo up to 1 drop red Trunks from your drop. So you would swing, take a life if you want, and then the cool thing is with this guy, even if you don't have it on the city, you could grab him, the crit or the barrier, and go ahead and give yourself those things for that battle. And sometimes it's cool because your opponent might forget that it does that. So you don't have, they're so focused on what's under the city, you're able to go ahead and give yourself some really cool effects. Phenomenal card for that reason. And then carrying on how you play this guy out, you pay 2. If you've got 4 more energy, you can play this guy from your hand, or you can play this guy from under the destroyed West City, which is generally what you're going to do. Generally speaking, you're going to, as soon as you see this guy early in the game, you're going to put him under the city, draw your 2, and then he just sits there, and he's ready for you to play whenever you need him. Your turn 4 is pretty explosive with this deck because of cards like him, your SCR, and just the amount of damage you can do with that 4 energy. His activate main, it costs 2, so you'll end up dropping 2 Z energy here, or you'll end up, maybe you'll drop 1, so you'll have to pay 1 energy. Ideally, you will have set up your Z energy enough that you can just drop the 2 to use this guy's skill. So what he does is he's going to draw you 1, switch himself to active mode, and then neg out a battle card or unison by 35k, ignoring barrier, which again, really freaking good. Kind of goes back to what I was saying about this deck feels more, it has more negging potential than Vegeta, because almost every body negs in it. Next, we're playing 3 of the new Goku Unlimited Potential. You could run him at 4. I don't, just because, but you could. So he's barrier blocker. When a card's using a combo, he switches to active mode. This deck uses combos all the time, so that's real easy to go ahead and restand him, just like it is in Vegeta. When you play this guy out, if you got the 3 or more energy, or when you have 3 or more energy, you can neg a battle card 20k as well. So again, another really easy out for SCRs. You could play him, and you could play that Gohan resisting evil, however you want to do it. But this guy's great. Having barrier blocker in this deck is so much more impactful than I thought it would be. Next, we're playing 3 of the Gohan Defeating the Demon. A phenomenal counterplay, because again, we're talking about negging DP, so it's another 20k that you can neg out. This guy's costs are reduced by 1 for each Z energy cost you have in your battle area and leader area. So you're always going to have at least one, because you're going to have your damn, I can't even think what it's called, your Destroyed West City out. It's also reduced by 1 for each of your Z energy, which is really easy to have in this deck as well. So generally speaking, you're going to pay 1, play this guy out. When he hits the board, he negs a body 20k. He is a double striker and a blocker as well. This deck has a lot of double strike potential, which is another reason why I think that Trunks being limited makes sense. I hate it, but it makes sense. He is also unique for whatever, you know, just to keep that in mind too. We're playing 3 of the Broly Surging Attack. Now, I don't think this guy is required, but because I own 3, I really wish my camera would keep the nice quality that we pay for it to have. But I don't think you have to run 3. I literally run 3 because I own 3, and there's this beautiful artwork. But he is a crit body, and he has Servant, so he's 25k. You can play him out when your opponent has 2 or more energy. When this guy hits the board, you can do one of 2 things. You can give your leader Overlord, which is 99% of the time, that's what you're going to do. Or you can kill something 15k or less. This could be relevant if you want to hit a big body. You've negged it 20, it was 35. You negged it 20 off one of the like 8 cards that do it in this deck. Then you could play this guy and get rid of it, and then you could swing at them for 25k crit. You got plenty of options, and he's a crit body, so that's part of why I really like him. Early game aggression and stopping your opponent from getting new stuff to their hand. He's searchable off of pretty much everything in the deck because he's a Saiyan. I just think he fits perfectly in this deck. All right, next we're running 2 Super Saiyan Vegito Power Release. This guy's really cool because 1, he's going to let you play the Gogeta that we're running, the Z battle card, but also he's really easy to get off. So what he's going to do is if your leader is red and you activate this guy's counter skill, you can take 1 card from your life to your hand and then send 2 Saiyan cards from your drop to your warp. The Saiyans you're going to choose are going to be Goku and Vegeta so that you can have access to the Gogeta later, and then he's going to buff your leader 30k for the battle, and then this guy comes out as a 20k blocker. Really cool, straightforward card. The cool thing is, well, too, is it's all in the green text window, so your opponent like can't prevent you from getting that buff. So that's really cool. Next, we are running 2 Topos. You don't need this guy. I like him because I like floodgates and taxing my opponents for doing stuff. So essentially what this guy's going to do, you're going to pay 2. I really wish my camera would focus the way that it should. Anyway, I'm going to stop doing that to you guys. So anyway, to play this guy, if it's your opponent's turn, you reduce the energy cost by 2. So you'll pay 2, discard 1 card from your hand. Then your opponent is taxed for every swing. They got to pitch 2 cards from their hand. So that's just good. I mean, that's just a good defense. A good way to slow things down if you need to. You oftentimes don't, but I just like having the backup just in case. We're running 1 Broly Crown of Retribution. You don't need to put this in the main deck. I just do because I like having the option of it being there without having to side in for it. You don't need it. I like having it. You play this guy out. If your opponent's got 2 standing energy, you get to look at their hand and snipe something, a battle card that's 20k power or less. I really just like it to be able to look at the hand. This is great to do if you can before you play your SCR if you're playing against blue, because it's a way to get 2 peeks at the hand. But yeah, you don't need to run this. I just like to. This is another one. This is the only card in the deck, aside from Topo, that isn't searchable. Koitsukai, Mechanical Courage. Another thing you don't need to run. I just run it in the main deck because there's been too many situations to where, like, I'm like, damn, if I had this in the deck, we would be chilling. Basically, this is another way to tax your opponent. So if they want to negate your swings with, like, a battle card, they got to warp 2 cards from their hand, which is awesome. I think specifically, let me make sure here, there's like a cost associated. Yeah, so if they play a battle card, 20k power or less, they have to choose 2 cards in their hand and put them in the warp. So generally speaking, you would do this. You do this at the start of your turn. You pay the 1, bot deck up to 2 cards, draw 2 cards, put this guy in the warp. And now, if your opponent wants to floodgate you or battle card negate you, they gotta pay for it. And that can be pretty impactful on the turn that you're trying to kill them. Our super combos. This should be no surprise. We're playing for Raditz Sand Youth. I think this is the best super combo for this deck. It's searchable. It's easy to get. Yeah. Now for extra cards, we have 1 King Vegeta's Hidden Ambitions. This is great for your kill turn with your SCR, just in case, specifically if you're playing against things like blue or really anything that uses the extra card negates that they're tapped out and they're gonna take a life or pay some alternate condition for. You can just make them pay for it off that guy. Next, testing the opposition. Your token negate, just 1 of. You could run more. I just didn't have the space for it. I could maybe make the space for it, but the current version I have, there's no space. Next, we're running 4 explosive dances. You don't need 4, if I'm being honest with you. I like it at 4 because I want to guarantee that I see them. And if I see more than 1, and I haven't won the game, then I can always like bot deck it, draw 2 off of my super combo. So 4 is just, to me, I think is a good number, but you don't need to run 4. I just am overly cautious. SCR, the final card, is Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, Light in the Dark. This is a red sand deck. You should run this as your SCR if you have it. This guy is phenomenal. He's Overwhelm 6, 40k body. He's going to have quad strike from turn 4 onwards. He's going to give your leader 10k, and then he's going to snipe a card from your opponent's hand, 35k or less. Again, this is really nice because you get to look at your opponent's hand. So this can be great in combination with the Broly Crown if there's a world where you need to play both. Truthfully, though, this guy is kind of a win more card in this deck in the sense that your turn 4 is so explosive because of the 8-drop Trunks. You're already getting like 3 swings in there. One of them is probably a double strike. And then that only costs you 2 energy. So then you still have 2 more energy to play with. So you could play out one of your double strike Self-Taught Truth Gohans. You could still also pay 1 for your Z lead. Like, there's a lot of things you can do ahead of having to play this guy. If you wanted to start your turn so you could see what your opponent's working with by playing this guy out, you could also do that too. I usually end the turn that way. If they've survived all the other things, I usually do that. But it doesn't really matter. It's really just going to be about the matchup with your sequencing. Whew. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at our Z deck. First, we're running the Z Unison, or not Z Unison, this is clearly the Z Leader, Super Saiyan 3 Gohanks, Time Traveling Master Student Fusion. So he's a double striker. He's going to cost you 1 red energy and 3 Z energy to play. You got to have 3 or less energy. When one of your red cards is used in a combo, you draw 1, choose 1 card. One of your opponent's battle cards are unisons, negative 5k. That's cool. We love reducing attack power. And then his activate main / battle is the same as your leader. So you place 1 of your Z energy in your drop. Then during this turn, the next time you would activate a Red Sun Gohan Future or Trunks Future card in your battle area. And or combo area, you reduce the cost by 1. So it's the same as your leader. Really good card. Next, we're running 1 SS4 Son Goku, Defender of Life. But then we've got the DBR Goku, Z Unison. This guy's cool because, again, neg 20. We're really looking in this deck. We've just built it to be able to just neg your opponent out and make it so they can't keep things on board. We're running 1 Rush Attack SSB Vegeta. Another way to neg things out, specifically those unisons. Then we're running a Jiren Climatic Battle. Not necessary. I mean, you're never going to get the Empower off, but he has a dual attack barrier, and he can neg out one of your opponent's attacks, so that's cool. Then we're running this beautiful boy here, the SS Gogeta Bold Arrival. This is the one that you'll get access to through the Vegito. So if you want to play this guy, you have to play Vegito or some way of warping. I guess you could play something that like a Overrealm, and that would work too. But this is just, the Vegito is just the cleanest way to get it out. Then we're running one SSB Vegeta, Surmount the Impossible. Then we've got, of course, the SSG Son Goku. This guy will probably never really come up because he's going to cost you 4, but there is the rare occasion when it does. If you're like, okay, cool, it's more effective for whatever reason for me to pay the 4 on my kill turn, get this 20k double striker out, use his -1 or 2, neg out their board so that you can like finish them that turn. I guess there's scenarios where that makes sense, so that's possible. And then, of course, the last card is Destroyed West City, which is probably the most important card in the Z deck because this is what's going to let you awaken. Also, this guy by itself, you can place one Saiyan or Android, you don't have any in the deck, so it doesn't matter, underneath the city to draw a card. And because your leader is who your leader is, it's only going to cost you 1 energy, not 6. Whew! Alright guys, that is it for this deck. I feel like this deck profile was so much more rather in-depth just because there's so many different intricacies into this deck. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll be doing more deck profiles. Maybe this week we'll do like a feature match with this. Just kind of depends on if I can get things edited and all that in time. But future me will be the one to work through all that stuff. Anyway, y'all, I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.